I've just created a virtual machine. Now I've given resources. As you can see, it is not using really a huge resources. It just uses a very minimal resource. So let's power on the virtual machine. So once you powered on, it's just loading the operating system. So let's wait here. It's going to check with the cloud. Hopefully it will do cloud checking. Yep, checking the integrity. So it's just make sure to check the downloaded ISO file to see where is there any errors. There's no errors found. So it's moving on. So yes, you can see it's checking some keys, public keys, private keys, and now it's going to connect to cloud. Yep, waiting to cloud init. Once this connection is done, it will ask us to select the language. So we will select the language and then we'll continue the installation process. Right, as you can see, it's now asking us to select the language. So you can use the keyboard to move up and down. So I'm going to use the English and hit enter. So the layout I'm using here is the US layout. Click done. As you can see, the green highlighted one says what's your next step. Configure at least one interface with interface this server can use to talk to other machines, and which preferably provides sufficient access for updates, which is sort of like it's asking for us to configure the IP address on the virtual machine. So what I can do is you can go here and you can configure the IPs. Well, let's see whether this has got a static IP address, dynamic IP address. So it's in NAT. So I'm sure that the virtual machine in NAT is going to get something in the range of 32. Yep, in NAT 32. So what I can do is I can select the DHCP, right? And we can see the IP address. Let's see. This has IP address, IPv4 address is there. We can create, or we can continue without network, and we can come back once we completed this one. We can come back and we can go to net plan, which is where the IP address has been configured, and we can assign a manual IP address. And keep in mind, this is going to be the server, so I don't want to have a static IP address. So I don't want to have a dynamic IP address. I wanted to have a static IP address. So I'm just going to continue without the network. And proxy, there's no proxy, so I'm just going to skip. So mirrors where it downloads the updates and stuff, so we can just continue. And now connecting for Snap Store to check new version of installer available. Hopefully we don't want to check it, so we can continue without the updating. But let's see what happens. I'm sure this is the latest version of the operating system, so it shouldn't have much of the updates. Yep, so it didn't really find. So what happens now, it's asking to create the storage layout. So whether you want to use the entire storage or you want to create small storage and use it. So since this is my single operating system with single hard disk, 20 GB, I don't want to create different drives. So it's, you can see DEV div SDA, which is my first disk. If I have second, it's SDB. So it keeps on adding then the hard disk. We can add more hard disks to find out the different names later on, right? So let's move on. So it's creating a root with 18 GB, and it's creating a boot disk or boot partition with 1 GB. And as you can see, the partition names and everything is at the below here, right? So I'm going to click done. Are you sure you want to continue? Continue. And then it's asked for your name. So this is especially for SSH configuration. So enter the username and password you will use to log into the system. You can configure SSH access on the next screen, but password is still needed for sudo. So I'm going to first configure the name. So this is pretty much what we do in the Windows computers, right? This is your computer name and your server name. So I can say DZ, let's say Samba, or rather Samba, I'll say domain, right? Pick a name, username. So username is Satyan with simple S. Keep in mind this is open source, so capital simple letters are matters. So server name, what I'm going to use, I'm not going to use the domain server name. I'm going to say use easy, right? Domain controller, even though it's not really Microsoft, but I'm using the same name. Domain controller is the name, so I can install OpenSSH, right? So import, if you have got keys you can use it, otherwise no. Right, so now the operating system has started installing, right? And the installation is complete, so you can see it's quite fast. Reboot. So once it's done, it's going to ask us to log in. So we will use the username Satya and the password, whatever the password that you have given, right? With that, technically the Ubuntu server installation is complete. So as you can see now, it's configuring the network. I'm sure that it has got DHCP configuration, so hopefully that DHCP configuration will get it. If not, it doesn't matter, we can still go and configure the static IP address later on. Alright, so as you can see now, it's just rebooted and it's ready to log in. Right, let me log in. There you go. So I'm now logged into my Ubuntu server.